Well, let's get through some of that then, just to sort of establish it for people maybe that don't know. What issues do you have any issue whatsoever with someone being transgender?
No, I don't have any issue with that. What I have an issue with is that I don't like to see the postmodern neo-Marxists use the transsexual issue as a lever for pushing forward their political nonsense. And I said that right from the beginning in the videos I made to begin with. The reason I wouldn't use the words Z and Zer and all those other made-up words, however many there are now, is because I'm not willing to cede the linguistic territory to postmodern radicals. I'm not doing that. And they say, well, we're doing it on behalf of the oppressed transsexual people. And I think, yeah, well, that's what you say, but there's no reason I should believe that. I don't believe anything you say. I think you're contemptible, cowardly, ideologically motivated, cult-like corrupters of the youth. So why would I use your language?
Well, let's unpack that, because one of the things that I find fascinating is how few transgender people want to use those words. The transgender people seem to want to identify with whatever gender they like. If you are a male to female transgender person, you would prefer to be called a she,
right?
Like Caitlyn Jenner, right?
Right.
And pretty much everybody calls the artist formerly known as Bruce Jenner Caitlyn Jenner, right? That's just like if you had a look at how many people just openly accept that, it's pretty well accepted, right? Mm-hmm. Most transgender people prefer that. They prefer female to male. They prefer to be a man now. I'm a man now. Okay, Bob, Dick, whatever your name is. There's not a lot of Z-Zer talk.
Well,
maybe I'm out of the loop.
No, you're not out of the loop. The other thing is those are all third-person pronouns. It's like I'm not going to call you a third-person pronoun while we're sitting here. I never would. If I'm referring to you when I'm talking to someone else,
call their name, right?
Well, I could use your name. I might use he then,
right.
But I don't know. Well, it's just all of it is palpably absurd. I think it's always hard to get the level of analysis for this sort of issue correct. Because the people who are pushing it forward say, well, we're against harassment and discrimination, and they attribute all the moral virtue to themselves. But then what I see is that they're utilizing a group, a very small minority group, who already have enough problems, in my estimation, for nothing other than straightforward political purposes. I don't buy the warm-hearted, all-inclusive love that the people who are pushing this sort of thing forward claim to display. I don't see that at all. What I see mostly is resentment and the desire to undermine. And I'm quite familiar with the postmodern philosophy, not as familiar as I could be, and also reasonably familiar with its underlying Marxism. And there's nothing touchy-feely about any of that, I can tell you. The best you can do with postmodernist philosophy is emerge nihilistic. That's the best. The worst case is that you're a kind of anarchical social revolutionary that's directionless, except that you want to tear things apart. Or that you end up depressed, which I see happening to students all the time, because the postmodernists rip out the remaining structures of their foundations, of their ethical foundations.
So just to be really clear, for anybody tuning in, your issues are absolutely not with someone who identifies with a gender other than their biological gender.
As long as they're not using that to promote a political agenda. But I don't care about the gender thing. I mean, that's
doesn't mean anything.
Well, it's a personal preference. It's a personal issue.
Right, personal issue.
It's a personal issue.